Okay, let me see this. Al Sherwin, what is your personal success rate on your personal branding? Okay, pagka personal branding, just to answer the question of Mr. Al Sherwin, so personal success rate, it's going to depend on how do you perceive success. Is it a goal or is it a journey? That's number one. For me, like for myself and for Oregano, together with LPC, my success rate will come from how I perceive it. Kasi tawag dito, number one, if did I reach the right person? If I can change the right person, I can change their lives, their perception, their perspective on how they do that. Yun yung ikaw ang mag-set ng mga indicators of your success. For my end, I have already 2 companies. I have children, and then I have a comfortable living naman. So the journey for me has been very good, and now it's more a journey of sharing knowledge. Now I'm preparing the members of my organization to at least be the next in line. Hindi na to stay on the top of the line, but to prepare the next generation to be online. So again, for my case, it's a journey. So kung ito yung mga indicator ko na, the last element, I'm not sure if you're Christian or whatever religion, or if you're Catholic, part of my success rate is the presence of contentment. Kung wala yung element ng contentment, you will never reach such end goal pa, or yung level of gratification. So yun sa akin, is there an end? Not really. Because as a Rotarian, as a educator, sharing knowledge will never stop. My life might end, but my advocacy will never. So mahalaga yung yung pagbabago na gusto kong ma-achieve, yung gusto kong ma-share, lahat yun, that's part and parcel of the learning. Okay? Can you give one powerful question to ask the employees on the set of creating the brand? Okay, that's from tama ba? Lina Sumbilo. So, thank you for the question. Very, very good question. Okay. If dapat reciprocal yung perspective if you're gonna do that question. So, anong ibig sabihin mo, Sir Mabs, doon? So, pagka gano'n, number one, how can I help you from the perspective of the leader? And how can you help me help you? Yan. Kasi, muna tawag dito, you have to first create, number one, a relationship. Yes, that person might be an employee, that person might be a partner, that might even be your spouse, or your girlfriend, or partner. Pero, if you do not create that two-way traffic in communication, wala kang foundation. So, help you with what, sir? Help you with what? Mano yan magugulantang. Then, go to the tricky question on how to improve things. Might be personal, might be professional, kung ano dyan. Normally, what I do, just to share with you, in order to create a brand for a team, one of my prodigies that I'm building is a participant in the class. Now, so what I did with her is that I give her the liberty of writing what she needs to write. Ito yung and then I taught that person ito yung areas of improvement, ito yung sabi nga diba, kiss, kick muna, initiate, and then siyempre part of that is the evaluation process. So aral muna. Learn how she writes, that person writes, and then you tell them, I tell that person, this is how I write, this is how our client needs us how to write. So, doon muna, sharing muna, inviting muna, and then learning together as a team. So, bakit? The most important element in that simple rhetoric question is that you develop a buy-in to that subordinate, to that employee, to that partner, to the spouse. So, ibig sabihin, you must first create an environment through open communication. So, part and parcel of your branding is that there is an open communication between you. So it's a trick question, how may I help? Because it's a catch-all phrase. So nasa inyo kung paano ang bagsak. So, always remember that ang isang salita minsan masakit, minsan hindi. Depende kung paano mo sinabi. Sabi nga, ang lambing parang I love you. Pag sinabi, hoy, I love you, walang dating. Pero pag sinabing, alam mo, mahal na kita eh. No, joking aside. So, may dating. So, ganun nga. It's the same question that you'd like to share with your, So, how can I help you help me? Level of support, level of trust, reciprocal communication. So, that's it. And then, has there been a challenge? Has there been Jason Rabosa? Okay. Has there been a challenge encountered in building your brand? No company or organization is exempted in building a brand. It's always gonna be difficult. Ang dyan is how you start is the most important thing. In my experience and in the studies that we have done for the past few years, if it started as an entrepreneur, I started as an entrepreneur, even though I've been in the professional practice for 20 years. Ang dyan, pag entrepreneur, it's all about you at the beginning. So, very critical kung paano ka nag-umpisa kasi that's how they know you. Ang problema is moving forward and going that. It's going to be difficult for every entrepreneur. Maswerte itong generation na to because the presence of internet makes it a little bit easier. But the problem is consistency. During my time, I'm already 41. It's gonna be hard kasi wala naman naming internet na pinag-uusapan. Friendster was 2003, 2002, and then wala pang Facebook marketing. It was only email marketing at that time. Delegation is a problem, and then syempre pag bata-bata ka, it's very different when you delegate when you were 23 years old and then you are now 41. The methodology is very, very different. The character and the behavior is very different. And then how you treat your guys is very different. So, may challenges siya, marami. Behavioral, technical, and then, syempre, environmental. If you're not aware, ayun ang sinasabi ko lagi, yung awareness ang pinakamahalaga, self-awareness for the branding because you are in the job of creating the brand. Yun ang mabigat doon. Na pag medyo nawawala ka na, nangingibabaw na yung emotions, and then that's a problem. Dapat you should check your emotions intact, your objective thinking intact, so and so forth. So that's dyan. So, maraming mga unique challenges, but yung continuance ng credibility at saka yung speed of trust for the next generation of leaders, yun yung isa sa challenges. Yeah. Characteristics of a complete personal leadership brand, and then sabi, any parameters or criteria. Okay, now, just for you to take note lang, para lang masagot natin yung characteristics of personal brand. you have to start off the very big question, how do you want to be perceived? Kasi number one, if you take note dun sa fundamentals, pagka doon, shaping your brand, understand that is everything counts. So, ano yung purpose ng brand? Anong purpose ni Oregano? Share knowledge. And then, if you go back to B, shape your brand, remember, I think, I am not sure if I'd mentioned this, that part of the shaping brand, always remember, self-awareness, it's an extension of yourself. So as a leader, always think that your actions is an extension of you and it extends beyond the incident kung saan siya tinanong. Kung saan nangyari yung sitwasyon, ano yung mga actions taken. Ano nangyari araw na yon, yung reflection nun, yung stories that will push through to the future. And when they're in the future, they reflect on the actions taken by you, yun na yun. So, yung self-awareness, always remember your action is an extension of yourself. Tapos, yung ano yon, yung need or want mo. Kasi anong ibig kong sabihin? I think I failed to mention lang kasi meron ditong question for the parameters or criteria. Yung mga markers mo for you to stop things that you are doing, like keeping motions in emotional decisions, yan. Bakit kamo? Kasi there is an important element in marketing or in business objectives that I think I failed to mention. Yung mantra na, the quicker you want it more, the vulnerable you are making mistakes. Business decisions takes a lot of precedence, takes a lot of study, takes a lot of incorporating methodologies on how to decide doon. So, yun yung mabigat. Kasi remember, parameter doon, number doon is checking your emotions in, keeping your emotions in check. Mabigat yun eh. Actually, it takes a lot of strength to be withholding rather than releasing. Pag nirelease mo lahat ng emotion mo sa sitwasyon na yon, baka ikaw ang talo. Kasi a word that has been released during a high emotional intake at tapos in-output mo na may nasaktan, lifetime na yon. Hindi mo na basta mababawi yun. So yan dyan. Tapos yung sa platform lang, I just like to mention lang yung sa add value. Yun lang naman ang ano. Anyway, for the guy, ano po yun? Sir Al Sherwin, if you have time, please email me for the criteria so I can answer you. Tapos, ano na lang, ngayon kasi for the lack of time, I'm closing the session na already. So, thank you everyone. Thank you.